everybody, JC here with another T&I toy review. And today we're going to take a look at the new Mattel DC Comics Multiverse Bane figure. This is Bane based on his appearance in the Batman Arkham Origins video game. This figure comes packaged in their new Multiverse style packaging, which is very reminiscent of the old DC Universe classics for their 6-inch line. The card back uses orange and yellow highlights. We've got some red highlights in the title. Up at the top, it indicates that these figures are for adult collectors. Highly detailed and authentic. Not quite so sure about that, but we'll go into more detail when we look at the actual figure here. Then we have the DC Comics Multiverse logo and the Batman Arkham Origins logo. And then on the left side, we have a picture of Bane from the video game. And then next to that, we have the actual figure displayed clearly on the card back. And then below that, we have the name of the character, Bane. On the back, we again have a picture of the character from the video game. And then have some stats. Real name unknown. Occupation assassin. Employer black mask. And then over on the other side, we have a little brief blurb about the Multiverse line. And we have that Arkham City logo again up at the top. And then we have other figures in this first wave of Multiverse 4-inch figures. Batman, Mr. Freeze, and Azrael. Now, the line, again, is called Multiverse. It's a new line from Mattel. Basically, it's going to feature figures or characters from various DC Comics themes, such as video games, movies. Hopefully, we'll get some comic book-based figures at some point. The second series is going to include movie figures. So we're going to get Michael Keaton Batman and Christopher Reeve Superman, among some others. So that's pretty cool. But this first series is basically focusing on characters from the Arkham video games. Okay, so let's get this figure open and take a look at what's inside. Okay, here's a look at the figure outside of the packaging. Overall, it's a pretty basic figure. There's no accessories that come with this figure, so what you see here is what you get. The detailing on the sculpt is pretty good. It's got some nice sculpting on the jacket to give it an overall, kind of leather kind of look. Pockets, a little lining on the shoulders. So nothing too bad there. He's got grenades on his belt, which aren't removable. They're separate plastic pieces, essentially glued on. And he's got some pockets on his pants. He's got the armor plating on his boots. A little kind of looks like scuffing on the boots, which is nice. And he's even got some treads on the bottom of his shoes, along with 2 peg holes. On his neck there, you can see his skin under his jacket, and he's got some venom tubes that are neon green, like we've seen with other figures based on the Arkham City game. And here's a look at the back. So overall, pretty good sculpting for a 4-inch figure. Here he is next to the DC Collectibles Bane from the same video game. So you can see there's some similarities, like with the boots and everything. The larger scale figure obviously is a bit more detailed, and it's not wearing a jacket or anything. But again, the Mattel figure, obviously, even though it's billed as an adult collector figure, is only running, at the comic book shop it was $11, but probably at mass retail I think these are going to run probably in the neighborhood of $7 or $8. Scale wise, I think the figure comes out pretty good. The figure stands just under 5 inches tall, so he's definitely taller than the other figures in this line. Here he is next to the Batman figure that we reviewed yesterday, and you can see he's significantly taller, so I think scale wise it's pretty good. Here he is next to Marvel Universe Hulk figure. And you can see they're about the same size. Hulk's obviously bulkier, but they're about the same height. So again, pretty good scale here with this figure. Okay, so for articulation on this figure, it's pretty basic. Definitely this is the weakest part of these figures, is the articulation. For the head, he can basically move left and right. Now with the way the jacket is sculpted with the collar, there's a little bit of resistance when you try and turn the head left and right, but for the most part you can get it to turn pretty good. However, there's no up or down movement with the heads on these figures, so that's disappointing. Arms are standard hinged ball joint, so you've got pretty good rotation with the arm. The elbow is a single hinge joint, but you can still bend it pretty good. And then the wrists are just swivel wrists, but no hinges on the wrists. For midsection articulation, we just have the swivel at the waist, but there's no kind of ab crunch of any kind with these figures. Then with the legs, you've got the hinged joints, which allow you to put the legs outwards pretty well. Of course, with this particular figure, because of the way the grenades are sculpted on the belt, it does hinder being able to move his left leg outwards. So, and then the way the butt is sculpted on this figure, you also can't really move the figures back at all, or the legs back at all with this particular figure. With Batman, he had pretty good movement forward and backwards, but with Bane, it's pretty limited. And then on the right leg, you can do it outwards fine, but because of this grenade sculpted on the belt, it does hinder putting the leg forward to some extent. And then again, there's really no movement of pushing the leg backwards. And then he's got single hinge knees, so that's about as much as he can bend his knee. And then he's got the swivel joint right above the knee, so he does have some swivel there in the legs, but no ankle articulation at all. So no up or down or pivot or anything like that. That about does it for this review. Overall, I can't complain too much about the detailing with the sculpt. I think that's pretty decent, and I definitely think they did a good job with scale on this figure. Again, where this figure lacks is with the articulation. It definitely would be nice if we had some type of ankle joints and or hinge joints on the neck, so that he could look up or down, and maybe some type of ab crunch joint. These are definitely not anywhere near on par with the Marvel Universe figures for a 4-inch scale line. Even the DC collectible 4-inch figures have a little bit more articulation. They at least have some articulation in the ankles. So again, that's my biggest complaint. Also, not a lot of accessories with most of these figures. This figure has no accessories at all. So again, a line that's built for collectors, it would be nice if maybe we had some additional accessories to go with these figures. But price point wise, these aren't too bad. You know, like I said, at mass retail, I think these are going to run between $7 and $8. At your comic book shop, they're running around $10 or $11. So price point wise, you can't complain too much. And they do fit in scale wise with your other 4-inch lines, like the DC Collectibles 4-inch line and the Marvel Universe line. So scale wise, they're pretty good. So that's my review. I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, I'll check you later. Oh, and be sure to leave a comment or let us know what you think of the figure, and like it if you like this review and want to see more. We will be reviewing more figures in this line in the coming days. So I'll catch you later.